Okay people, for this video we're going down memory lane because I have a big question concerning Ruby in general. Some people have said you can overanalyze the show, and that's probably why. It leads down two paths. Either you don't enjoy the show because you overanalyze it, or you start to make your own headcanons and your own theories canon in order to justify it being good, which we've seen multiple people do. I mean, one of the things that you take into consideration is the music of Ruby. The music of Ruby is told to us by Ruby not to be officially canon, or to be maybe a prediction or theory in itself. And yet we have people diving into every single song telling us the lyrics. Instead, what I'm suggesting we do for this video, with it playing in the background here, is we're going back to probably between volumes 2 and 3, or the combination of the both. And my question to you is, am I overanalyzing things by pointing out these 3 issues that I overall had a problem with that volume? For the majority, it's you keep quiet about these issues, because with volume 1 and 2 it was just too early on, it was just a fan project, it wasn't much going into Ruby, so that's why a lot of people shut up about analysing the earliest volumes. With volume 3, with Monty's passing, nobody at the time wanted to say anything. Saying anything bad about Ruby would incent that you are saying something bad about Monty, so it was kind of like, with him dead, the show and Ruby gained a shield, temporarily, to put him devoid of any criticism whatsoever. Then volume 4, 5, 6 happened, the show's grown, Rooster Teeth's grown, Ruby's larger, they got experience, and, well, we criticise now. It's like, you're too big not to be criticised, right? So what are the 3 things overall? One is an actual simple one that actually, I'm going to start with this one, although it's technically the 3rd one, because it occurred to me last after going over the first 2 points. But it's the most simple, and it involves Cinder's team of Cinder, Mercury, Emerald, and Neo being put into the tournament from Haven Academy with Lionheart's permission. It never really occurred to me until I actually thought on it that this should not have happened. It should not have been possible. The only way Cinder and her team would have been able to attend Beacon and be able to pass off as Haven students is the fact that there would have to be no other Haven students at the tournament. They would be the solo team. They can come across as single representatives. No one would question them. But for the fact, we know that's not true. We see multiple students in the crowd, which is a mistake in itself, which I'll get to, because as we see later on, the whole stadium empties and students from all academies piss their pants, therefore saying that the whole system's flawed in itself. But the clear one that we can easily point out as main characters, or like secondary characters, is Team Sun. Sun Wukong and Neptune play. Sun himself is pretty much a main character, with Neptune being like his secondary character, and the rest of the team is there. And the fact that they talk like with Team Ruby and that, you'd kind of be like, oh, this Cinder, this Mercury, this Emerald, I've never seen them at friggin' Haven. Like, you think the Haven students would just be like, we've never seen these people at Haven. We attend Haven, we've never seen these students here. It's like, you think someone would have actually, from Haven, questioned who the hell these people are. So that's the first issue that I'll bring up. Is that overanalyzing? Or is that just like a simple math that it should not have happened? It doesn't make sense. it doesn't make sense in itself how you can have multiple students from one school and criminals hiding in plain sight. It just doesn't make sense. Two, do I want to go into... You know what? We'll do the weapons. I feel like this is more easy to view in Volume 3 during the tournament, because that's when we get to see all the teams in action. They got lazy as shit. I'm sorry, when the premise of your show is all these high-tech weapons from Ember Silica to Crescent Rose, Gamble Shroud, you got all these high-tech weapons, they're designed to kill Grimm, the people have created their weapons, everything is a gun, or in Weiss's case, dust galore. It's like, when it came to the tournament, yeah, we were going to be seeing people from other schools, and we didn't expect, like, because of the designs for Haven was to be Asian, and we actually see that with Auburn. A lot of Auburn has Asian-oriented. Is Auburn from Haven as well? Jesus Christ! How come none of these students thought to ask who the hell friggin' Cinder's team were? Then you got the Atlas crew and the Vacchio crew look like they're just dressed in a thrift shop clothes. But I'll take it up with the Vacchio crew and Team Funky. Team Funky and the Vacchio crew, I just like, what the fuck were you thinking? Because the whole premise behind these schools is we're training huntsmen and huntresses to go out into the world and kill Grimm. So, in hindsight, all their weapons have to be finely tuned for killing Grimm, not for attacking humans. And the ones that I'll bring up that just seemed stupid to me overall, Team Funky in general was stupid to me. I'm not a fan of either of those characters. I don't get why a Faunus is coming from an Atlas school. I think that's really stupid considering Faunus discrimination. Neon's entire existence at Atlas is stupid. But then she's got glow sticks that just have dust in them. Beyond that, that's all they are. They're just dust glow sticks. Stupid. What the fuck is that supposed to do? You got Thingy with his trumpet, so he's just creating sound waves. That's it. Stupid. How you gonna kill Grimm like that? We never see the rest of Team Funky, so we don't know how the friggin' hell the team's supposed to work together to actually kill Grimm. Vacchio, the one that really... A few of them. One of the guys had, like, blade things on his wrist, and he's like, just hitting people with them, and he throws them, and they return to him, even though they don't have dust, gravity dust in them. And they're not boomerang shaped, so you're like, what the fuck are they doing? It's like, in a show with dust, with gravity dust, you think, you know, just have a little purple gem in the middle of these spike things, so it makes sense that they return. But I can't see them doing major damage to Grimm, those friggin' spike things. But the big one that actually got to me was the shock baton, or the taser. I'm just like, what the fuck do you want that to do to a fucking Grimm? Like, really, like, we're couldn't it be a shock baton with a shotgun? There, shotgun crossed with a shock baton. Close range, both aspects, is like get up, taser them, and then double barrel blow the shit out of them. There, it's simple. It wouldn't be that hard. Like, look at the new Doom Eternal coming out. They said, oh, how do we upgrade the double barrel shotgun? We put a hook, Scorpion's bloody get over here hook under it. They had more imagination than Ruby in this volume, because I'm just like, the weapons that half these characters are using, some of them I can see killing Grimm, some I just think they got lazy. And it's at this point, we come to the overall point, because the first point is, as I said, Cinder's team doesn't make sense that they remained hidden for that long. And no one questioned it. 2, the weapons were just really poorly designed for what they're training to become. They should have been more powerful, more high-tech, designed to actually fight Grimm. And 3 is the tournament itself. Now this, I'll even use a little reference here. And I know I'm not judging it against My Hero Academia. I'm not saying one's better or the other. But I'm just saying, in terms of My Hero Academia, the tournament makes more sense. Because it's not only them competing to test their abilities, it's showing character growth, but it also allows the professional heroes to watch, and they can pick up, oh, we want to maybe pick up him or her, we want to train them in the future. It's a way to get out there and actually be seen by people. In the terms of Ruby's tournament, it has a lot more wrong with it than you actually think. And I've always said that my biggest issue is I'm a big fan of world building. So if you make a show, and this is it, you have to have the basics of the show. Like the problem with the weapons was Grimm 101. That's very basic. That's not reading into it. The whole point is fighting Grimm, and the weapons aren't good enough to fight Grimm. It's a problem. In the terms of the tournament, the problem here is all the basics of the world of Remnant. Okay, it's one, what is the point of this tournament? And we're told it's just glory for the school who wins. There's no actual point, because there is no system outside of the academies. Once you graduate, there's no guilds, there's no officers, there's no one really overlooking the huntsmen. The huntsmen just go out there and do whatever the fuck they want. Probably why so many of them go bad, so many of them go do whatever the hell they want. There's no allegiance to anyone, they just travel around doing whatever they want. That's a problem in itself. So, what happens in the tournament is, take for instance, when Team Sun is versing Indigo from Vakio, okay? And Team Indigo loses, Team Sun wins. Not only is this shown to people in the stadium, and there are people in the stadium from Vakio and Haven, but it's also televised all around the world. To Haven Academy, throughout all of Anima, throughout all of Vakio, we've seen people watching. What do you think's gonna happen when the people from Vakio watching witness their friends, their representatives losing a match? It's gonna trigger negative emotions and negative thoughts. What does that do in the world of Remnant? That attracts the Grimm. That's the basis for the show. The basic 101 of Ruby is Grimm are the monsters, they're attracted by negative thoughts and emotions, and you're holding a tournament where nations of the world verse each other for glory, which means there's going to be losers, which will cause depression. It's like, what? The fact is, the tournament in Volume 3 should not exist whatsoever. It's the fact that I don't know which, I'd have to actually listen to the episode when which tournament is it, because the schools have only been around for around 80 years, 75 years or something, so I'm curious how many times they've been able to pull off this, because overall, the existence of the tournament and the rules of Remnant and the lore and the world building don't match up. There should be consequences for this freaking tournament happening. Like, that's my overall question, and the reason I'm making this video is those three things that I listed. The tournament should not exist because it causes negative emotions and negative thoughts from the losers in the tournament that are televised worldwide, meaning that every nation at some point is going to be fucking depressed when their team loses or someone gets injured or shit. And that's exactly what happens with Mercury and Yang. Everyone's disgusted. And it wasn't just, as we found out, Vale, it was the whole world was under attack at that time from the negative emotions from that. The weapons are not high tech, they're not cool, some were just made off memes. Neon Cat, It didn't fit with Remnant. It didn't fit with Atlas and the Faunus discrimination. Her glow sticks, what the fuck are they gonna do? The weapons felt cheap and lazy. It would have been easier just to create less characters and show less matches. Show the build up to the matches so there's actual emotional stake in each match, rather than just put random teams next to each other. And let's be honest, some of the fights ended really stupid, like Junior and whoever the fuck they were versing from Vacuum. It ended dead stupid with Nora just going one hit kill. So overall, and the last one, as I said, Cinder and her group, it didn't make sense that they were able to hide so well. So my question to everyone out there is, am I overanalyzing things? Or are these genuine faults with the show that can be considered mistakes? Because if they are considered mistakes, like the weapon and cinder thing, you know, you can just be like, ah, shit, fucked up. And let's be honest, the creators do that. It's kind of become a meme with Miles and Kerry where they're like, oh shit, forgot. Memory problem. It's become a meme of them forgetting lore. But the whole thing with the tournament existing at all, that's such a big mistake that it kind of like, it destroys Volume 3. It's like the tournament should not have existed. It's like when you look at Volume 6 and you're like, Volume 6 it has the potential to be the best volume. And then we got the ending with the whole Mech Godzilla and the rushed Grimm that kind of like ruined what could have potentially been a really great season. We felt kind of, it's like when you're watching Volume 6, you're like, yeah, this is good. Oh shit, those Grimm are back. There are a few mistakes here and there early on that you're just like, it was bad, but, you know, the rest of it's good. It's like, the apathy was fucking actually scary as shit, but, you know, a few mistakes before that, but it was good. And then you get to the ending and you're just like, thank you, Genlock, for fucking up Volume 6. And it's at that point, you gotta really ask yourself. Because the one group of people at Rooster Teeth that overall have made the biggest mistakes is not the writers. No, it's the people in charge who are pushing forward the production of the show. Monty's just passed away, and they released Volume 3 regardless, because they had to push it out there. Volume 6, we needed an episode 14. They needed to extend that scene so it made sense. Fuck that. We got Genlock to do. So I'm suggesting that higher ups, such as CEO Matt Hullum, Bernie, Gus, real higher ups, executives and all that, they're the ones that are like, just push the show out. Let's make money. And it hurts the potential of the show. And I'm ending it. As I said, just let me know if you think I'm overanalyzing stuff or are these genuine mistakes.